What's up, boys? Starting to rain a little bit right now. Hopefully it's not too loud. Maybe just like a little bit of ASMR for you, make the video more enjoyable. Hopefully it's not too bad. But video is going to be about how to improve quicker on things and stick to it longer, be more consistent with it. And the best way, or one of the best ways, is to be competitive with somebody, have somebody to compete against. And this is going to be kind of controversial because some people think being competitive is a very negative thing. They think it's not good for you because like your ego and shit. And you know, I'm not going to say they're wrong, because in a sense it is. It's your ego taking over. You're being ego driven, trying to be better than somebody else. But I'm not going to lie, being competitive is a big part of me. And it's very helpful if you use it properly. Like, I guess like a friendly competition type of deal, not being competitive with like random people and just like being like, oh, I'm fucking, like having a superiority complex. Don't be like that. But when you use it to your benefit and you make it a driving factor for you, it's insane how powerful it can be towards your development. For me, for example, it's been almost every aspect of my life where I've had some kind of friendly competition that's driven me to be who I am. So whenever I was first getting in the gym, my brother started first, and I could see him gaining some weight and getting some muscle on him. I remember seeing him walk around the house. I'll never forget. I saw him walking around the house, and I saw his abs were starting to come in, his chest was getting bigger, arms bigger, and I was like, damn, he's getting huge. I'm over here 120 pounds still. And this is high school, like at the end of high school, so I was like 120, 130 pounds, and he was like 160 now. And I was like, man, I'm not about to be the tiny little brother who's like way smaller than his brother. So that got me in the gym. And that's how I originally started. It's been 5 or 6 years now, and I've made so much progress. But whenever I was going through that, even now, we'll be working out and I'll see him like, damn, I'm not trying to let him get bigger than me. And then he'll be like, maybe he'll get like a bench press max. And I'm like, damn, I'm not letting him pass me up. Cause we're like neck and neck. I think I have him a little bit on bench press, but he has me on like squat. Like we have different areas we're better at. I don't know if he's the same way that the competition was, but for me, it's like, and it might be a little brother thing, but for me, it's like, he's not going to get better than me. And it was why I started, and it's why I continue to improve instead of just plateauing and not being consistent. Cause I know if I stop, he'll keep getting better. And that's one thing for me with jiu-jitsu. I'm about to go to jiu-jitsu now, actually. I have one of my best friends got me into it. I met him about a year ago, and he like became my best friend really quick. But he got me into it, and this dude's he's a giant. He's 6'3", 230 pounds. So he's huge. He's way stronger than me and taller than me. Like in all aspects, he's just technically more built for the sport. I don't want it to stop me. It's something that's made me improve way quicker, honestly, because every time we go in there, I'm like, yo, today's the day, kid. I'm submitting you today. Today's gonna be the day I get you. And it's something that keeps me going. It's made me get better quicker because he's always my first go-to partner to roll with. And it gets me, I'm just going to go with somebody huge, and I want to get him so bad. I haven't got him yet. He started about a year before me, so he had a little head start, but I'm catching up to him. I'm going to get him soon. He's gotten me a handful of times, but my day's coming. And I know that competitive drive is what gets me going up in there. And I'd still be going, but I wouldn't be going as much as I do go, and I wouldn't be going as hard in there with a goal in mind. My goal is to submit him. And that might not be a good thing, but it works for me. So having that competitive drive is just crazy. Same with whenever if you watch my videos, you know that I have like a big outlook on social skills. I want people to build up their social skills and get better at talking. And for me, I was doing it about 2 or 3 years ago. That's whenever I first started doing it. And part of it for me was I had friends who were so good at it, and I felt left out that I was just socially enough. I couldn't socialize well. And whenever I was learning, and that was like one of my driving factors, like, okay, I want to get to where whenever I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm not just sitting there quiet whenever people I don't know are there. I wanted to develop the skill to where I could hang in the conversation. I didn't want to just be left out and people didn't like me because I couldn't talk. So I got better at that. Once I got better at that, it's just crazy how the competitive push will get me going in something, whatever the case is. And the biggest thing whenever I really noticed it was the gym with my brother. But it happens to me with everything. Anything I start doing, whenever I used to play games a lot, whenever my friends would be getting better at the game, it made me want to just start grinding the game and getting better at that way I could be better than them or keep up with them. I didn't want to be dead weight, basically. Same with, I have friends who are real fat and we'll go like hiking and shit. And then whenever they see all of us way more energy, we're going ahead, not getting out of breath, it makes them want to get in the gym. Like they'll ask me like, hey, can you help me get in shape? They just don't want to be left behind. And that's part of it. Once you do these things, it becomes part of your life. And it's a big thing for men. Men are super competitive, and the competitive spirit, you can feel it with your friends. Like you know, I have another friend, actually. This is actually a really good story. I've talked about him before. He's really into fashion. He makes clothes. He's like a really big fashion designer. He's into high-end fashion, so like the real fancy stuff. And he has a a friend of his, I never met him before, but he has a friend of his who does the same thing, and he's a pretty big name. He has like a good bit of followers and everything, and he's designed clothes for big celebrities like artists and stuff, and they've been in his clothes and everything. So whenever my friend was first starting off, he's done like 3 runway shows. Like he's like hosted 3 runway shows, and his first 2, you know, they weren't bad, they were pretty good, but the clothes were solid and everything. But this third one, he started hanging out with this guy more, who's kind of like a mentor almost, and hanging around him, seeing how hard he works on his clothes and seeing the stuff that he does with his clothes, the creativity wise, it got my friend to start working on his way more. And he showed me the stuff for his upcoming runway that he has, and it's so much better than the last one. It's like insane how much having that other friend around has boosted him. So the advice that I'm giving is, whatever route you're taking, either have a friend that's already doing it or get a friend to do it with you, because not only will you have that competitive aspect, it's going to push you harder, but you'll have somebody to tag along with you, and y'all can kind of compare y'all's milestones and everything. It's just nice to have a friend along with you. But when you have that edge, I'll use the gym again for example. I have 2 friends who go to the gym with me, and they're like best friends. They're always hanging out, and they were both at a point where they were plateaued. They weren't going up in strength at all. Their weights were staying the same. They looked the same, and they started working out together. Whenever they would come just be there at the same time, but they started actually working out together. And once they started working out together, they'd see one of them get like 10 reps, whenever the other one get like 8 reps. So they just keep trying to outdo each other. And in doing that, they flew past their plateau and end up flying past where they were, just because it's just that manly competitive edge. Whenever you're feeling that edge, it puts you on top of your game. You're going to try harder, you're going to do more, and you're just going to do whatever you can to be the best. Or at least maybe not better than, but the best version you can be. Because again, whenever you get to the point where it's all ego driven, and you're like, it's not even out of like competitive spirit, it's out of I want to be the best, like you're full on superiority complex, you're gonna not improve yourself. You're gonna be, what would be the opposite of improving? Brain's turning off. Degress. You'll be degressing, because you're letting your ego take over, and you're not doing it for the right reasons, and you're gonna get clouded and be arrogant and all these negative things. So you don't want that to happen. But whatever your goal is, I'm really goal oriented. I always talk about my videos. So whatever your goal is, maybe get a friend who you know has a similar ideal and get him to try it with you, or somebody who's been doing it. Make a friend with somebody who has been doing it, and use that as a driving factor for you. But besides that, if you like this kind of video, please subscribe, make some improvement videos. I really appreciate it, and I do coaching if you are interested. There's a link in the description. And besides that, if you have any goals to make this shit happen, and I will see you in the next video.